Okay, then we're ready. I have some music that I'll put on the stream. Just a little bit slow, I think. And yeah, hello, Payman and Team Shaq. Yeah, yesterday, a hard evening all night long. I slept a long time today, but yeah, when you have a normal rhythm, it's difficult to sleep long. So yeah, but yeah, I'm okay today, and yeah, and it was very nice. That's with the second place yesterday. I I had a really fun time, and I was really happy that the people here watched, and Henning streamed some of my matches yesterday. It was like, yeah, awesome. So I really liked that. I'm just right now, before here, I checked some of the stream from Henning, so that was nice. Yeah, wow. And a good turn one at least from Henning. No, Nicolai Thorninger, of course. Yeah.
Er der ingen bevægelse nu?
Overhovedet ikke. Du spillede de 3 kort der, så er det den er helt frossen.
Jeg kan se bevægelse.
Nå, nu kan jeg se det. Nu kom det.
Okay, godt. Yes.
Ja, jeg trækker et kort.
Du gør. Yep.
So he came down to only 3 cards. Yeah, so a good start, but in some way a not so good start. So I'm not sure I would have cast them all 3. Maybe just played the land and the ivory tower, then I would have been on 5 cards and started to gain life. Because you can always cast the Moxen, so. But yeah. Thank you, Juice. It was very nice. Yeah, I think I was lucky I didn't meet any artifact like workshop decks, but yeah. Wow. A Mind Twist for 3. So Henrik gets to keep 2 cards.
Det er spændende. En Factory, en Brain Guys og en Volcanic. Det var ikke dårligt.
Jeg ved ikke, hvad du ellers har, men det er vel okay. Godt, sådan. Ja.
Yeah. I guess we can see on the quality of the stream that somebody isn't using their cables. They're only using the Wi-Fi connection. But yeah, that's how it is sometimes. And mostly we can see the cards, so. Yeah. And of course, before the stream, I've been looking into what decks they're playing. And with the black mana, the swamp, Nicolai can play the Mind Twist and can play the Demonic Tutor. And he already played the Mind Twist, so. But he's lacking white mana, and the RukhEdge is only a 0/3 creature, so.
Lige nu kan den ingenting. Den skal dø først.
Ja, jeg laver en swamp, og så spiller jeg en solvand. Så siger jeg bare go.
Yeah. Thank you, Anas. Yeah. Again, I was really happy to make it to second place yesterday. I think it was a good field and strong players. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Really happy actually. And then I won a Chain Lightning, so also very nice to have these community altered cards. So it goes straight into my red deck. So. Oh yeah, and now we have good quality again. More or less from both players, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm guessing I would say it's in favor for Henrik, But now he has the book. Okay, now he has the second book, being able to draw cards. There were 89 players yesterday. I think there were 89. I can see. I don't remember if there were 89 or 86. Yeah. There were 86 players. Yeah. So it was a big tournament to have second place, 6-1. And I only lost to Mike Giuliani, who won the tournament. And he was playing a version of ATOG that I think Stephen Menendian piloted first time. So, yeah. And, yeah. As a vintage player, you know Stephen Menendian. He is a very good player and a very good tactician and has a lot of knowledge. So, him using the knowledge on old school is also quite nice. Okay, so no more life for Nicolai. Nicolai Top8, welcome, thank you. Good evening. Okay, and now he has the land tax. I think he should counter the land tax. Because...
Lige nu der har jeg 2. Så det jeg trækker kort nu, så har jeg 3.
He's just so much in front, Henrik, that if he actually gives him permission to play the land tax, Nicolai would draw a lot of cards, but again, they're only land cards, so... And I think the disenchants that Henrik plays, they should be reserved for if Nicolai plays the moat. So... Okay.
Så vil jeg godt lave en... smadre din hvide. Ja. Så jo.
Yeah. It's possible to activate land tax, and then you can do a fail to find, because that's always a possibility. Even though you actually have lands, you can still do a fail to find, and then you have to shuffle the deck afterwards. So together with the Sylvan Library, it's a really good card to have land tax. So... No, but fail to find is actually quite a good thing in Magic, at least this way. So, and since Henrik has 1, 2, 3, 4 lands, and Nicolai only has 1, he could land tax a lot of cards. Yeah, the dust to dust would be very, very good, actually, on both sides, because yeah, Henrik has the 2 books and Nicolai has all his mana. And yeah. I would also say the Armageddon would be a strong play from Nicolai.
Ja.
What's he gonna play for the red? Yeah, he already had the Mox, so it's not like it's a surprise.
Er det mig? Ja. Jeg kan godt trække kort ind af mig. Og så vil jeg godt lave en Sword Supply på de Rukhedge.
And the swords on the RukhEdge is also a very powerful play from Henrik, because it removes the card from the game, which means that he won't get a token.
Prøv at jeg kan skyde din sushi.
Det vil godt lige prøve at trække kort. Det er godt mandadræn.
Det er så fedt. Good.
Ja.
For dig.
Håndtag. Træk kort. Så vil jeg godt bruge 4 mana på at trække kort.
A free card draw of the mana drain mana.
Så vil jeg godt prøve at slå for 6.
And then factory activation, and yeah, still all mana untapped. It just shows how powerful the mana drain is.
Yes.
Og så sige go.
Okay, now he has white mana at least. The Rainbow Veil.
Jeg prøver at spille Land's Edge.
Ja. Det er jo.
Og så har jeg en colorless på den her, så prøver jeg at tage det der forbi. Og prøver at spille balance.
Hvor mange kort du får?
Oh yeah, the balance would be nice. And there it came.
Jeg skal lige i hvert fald lige. Du har 2 kort.
Du går der.
Og hvor mange lande har du? 1, 2, 3.
Så
Hvornår får jeg den der veil der?
den går over til dig, tabt i slutningen af min tur, og så bliver den så untapped i starten af din tur.
Og du har 2 kort på hånden, var det sådan du sagde?
2 kort, yes.
Jeg skal lige skyde dig for 4 først. Er det ikke noget med, at jeg også må discard? Siger Lancet ikke, at alle spiller må.
At any time, jo.
Så vil jeg godt skyde dig for 4 ved at discard 2 gange.
Det giver mening.
Så skal jeg lige
Yeah,
så sker
but now he can respond.
balance. Dør de 2. Ah, blev
Yeah. Many players actually forget that you can. Both players can discard lands for Land's Edge.
Den for så har jeg en hvid mana i bøgen. Så sækker jeg
Yes.
de 2 her.
It's a world enchantment. Discard a card. If the discarded card was a land card, Land's Edge deal 2 damage to the target player or planeswalker. Any player may activate this
Så har
ability.
en Volcanicon fabrik tilbage, yes.
Ja.
So that means he can actually discard as many cards as he wants to make the balance go through.
Jeg kan godt bruge de 4 mana fra Sushi på at trække kort efterfølgende.
Yes.
Nej, jeg skal lige discard en fra min hånd. Det bliver en abyss. Nej, det bliver en bog. Og så trækker jeg et kort. Okay?
Ja. Yes.
Og så nu er den resolved, ikke? Jeg har 2 kort. Du har 2 kort.
Nu er den, yes.
Og vi har 3 lander. Okay, så trækker jeg et kort.
Ja.
Okay. Og så
Og jeg
untapper
siger
jeg.
go, og så får du den der over til dig.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can actually remove as many lands as he wants, or as many cards as he wants.
Jeg prøver at slå på 2.
And there's many people who doesn't know this.
Skyde dig for 2.
Så var det.
Ja.
Ja, det var lidt et tvækket svært at spille den der Land's Edge. Det var bare for at få kortet ud af min hånd, men jeg var lidt i tvivl om det måske var en god idé. Jeg kan sige, det gav bagslag, men det var nok lidt lige meget.
Ja,
Jeg var sgu meget i tvivl, om jeg skulle holde denne her, fordi normalt skal jeg jo have hvid mana og lane tags. Men jeg synes, Landmox, Mox, Mind Twist, det var næsten for fristende.
ja.
Så var problemet bare, at jeg ikke trækker en skid efter det. Det kom sådan.
Ja, det er lidt problematisk, kan man sige, fordi altså jeg sad også og sådan fornemmede lidt, det var det hvide, du manglede, ikke? Så hvis jeg bare kunne holde dig fra hvid så lang tid som muligt.
So, one of the questions we're gonna ask is when Storm decided to discard 2 lands, shouldn't you have discarded your whole hand?
Jeg kan godt mærke, når nu jeg ikke hverken havde hvid mana eller en disenchant, så var jeg sådan lidt
Ja.
Ja, for jeg sad sådan lidt, du ved, okay, bare du ikke får begge to, så er det sådan set lige meget. Bare enten beholde Brain Guys.
We're talking about Land's Edge,
Eller bog.
the ability where you can remove cards from your hand, and if they're lands, you deal 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. No, target player or planeswalker. And the opponent had 2 cards in hand when he tried to resolve a balance. So the question is, should he actually have tried to remove all the cards?
Nej, mit problem det var bare, at jeg sad ikke rigtig og trak noget blå. Og jeg har før prøvet på min disenchant, de ligger nede i bunden, så det var jo det der med, at hvis du får en mode ned, og du så også får en Ivory Tower ned,
So let's see. So here we have Henrik's deck. I'm just gonna start with that one because Henrik's deck, since we're playing more or less the same deck, I think I know quite clearly what he's gonna do. He'll put in the 2 dust to dust and probably the 2 blue blasts and nothing else. He will remove his fire lightning bolts from the deck. He'll remove the green mox and maybe. Yeah, I think he'll remove 3 cards from the deck and put in 4 cards. So that he has the dust to dust, because we're always in an attrition war where you want to have a 2-for-1 advantage, and again against the ivory towers you can do that. And let's see, we also have Nicolai's deck. Here I think I would side in the 2 blood moons at least. That's a good start. If you have the long games, then probably the disrupting scepter also. Is the karma good? Is the swords good? Is the wrath good? No, not really. Karma, you could sleight of hand it. The circle red, you can sleight of hand it, sleight of mind it, it's called. But yeah, you're only attacking with colorless creatures, so that doesn't really work. So I would take in maybe the blood moons and maybe the artifact disruption, so that you can remove it, and maybe take in 1 more ivory tower. Would I take out my Sarahs and RukhEdge for that? Yeah, possibly. So that you could win it, but yeah, because you know your opponent plays the abyss, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what actually Nicolai is going to put in the deck, but I'm quite sure Henrik is going to put only the 4 cards in, so yeah, I'll say Henrik's deck is also very nice. Why remove the Mox versus Lanta? Because he doesn't actually play green. So it's simply just for making more room in the deck. So it's been one of the things that we always do. If you saw my games yesterday when I sideboarded, it was almost always the two lightning bolts and the mocks that I actually sideboarded out. And yesterday it was actually also the copy artifact because it wasn't really good. And Henrik has a problem watching what the cards are. Maybe the glare, yeah. I don't think I would sideboard in the third Abyss. I think the two Abyss is okay because he doesn't really have any fast creatures. He doesn't have like a turn 1 bird or like Land War Elves or Lions or anything. So he has the RukhEdge, which is turn 3, and the Serra Angels, which are turn 5. Normally it can go faster, but yeah, so he doesn't really need to have the Abyss answer ready for turn 4, so.
Okay. Jeg er counter. Sure.
Meddling Max, welcome. Yeah. I think I had very good games yesterday, or this morning, so to speak. So yeah. And the land tax. Again, I'm not so afraid of the land tax because in reality he has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planes and a red and a black and a blue. So I'm not so afraid of it. It's more like the Abyss and stuff that I don't really like. No, it's the mode that I don't like. The Abyss I actually love.
Very nice. Får min kære på. Og tur.
So let's see. Again, the deck is in front on mana resources, so is anybody watching the match on Henning's stream? So that we know how it goes with Nils, because I think they'll also be playing fast games. Turn this off, yeah.
Jeg skal prøve med en blok nu.
Jeg tænkte det nok. Jeg vil godt prøve blå blast.
Yes.
So it is 0-0 in their match, if anybody wanted to know. Is the music too loud, or is that an okay level? Yeah, I've already said what I really hate. I hate the energy flux, and of course I also hate the blood moon, but yeah, not so much anymore because the way that we built the deck right now. It's actually that Blood Moon doesn't really annoy us. Of course, it is a really bad card to have played against us, but yeah, we can survive against it. Yeah. He just has all the answers. And it's removed. Nicolai? Husk at den er removed.
Ja. Tak.
Yeah, for Shadowstorm in main, yeah, that would also be quite bad for me, to be honest. One of the decks that I have big problems with is actually the version of the Talk deck that I saw Svante he played. So, yeah, I think Manu was also in the process of making the deck, but the 2 City in a Bottle main decks and the 4 Shatters and yeah, and then you have the Black Vice and the yeah, it's just so bad for me, you know, because it puts on early pressure and then it has late game pressure also, and it's just bad, you know. Okay, I didn't see that one come at least.
Så prøv at spille en bog. Og også i gå.
Then he has a 3/4. No, Sventok was blue-red, I guess. You can Google it. It was played in the.
Så prøver jeg at slå med Suki.
Ja.
Og kultur.
At the NoobCon. Let's see, Sventok.
Så prøv at slå 2. Siger gå.
Jeg prøver at spille Armageddon.
Yes.
Og så prøver jeg at slå med Suki igen.
Ja.
Og sige tur.
Du kan lave svær på det.
Ah. Så er
Go.
And just, yeah, not so much action right now. Wow.
Så kan godt lave en disenchant på din mox.
Ja.
Go.
Ja. Har du en kort?
Jeg har ingen kort.
Ingen kort, okay. Nå, jeg prøver med en planes. Tur.
Ja.
This is a low quality picture of Svente's ATOC deck.
Tur.
You can see it has early game with the
Slå 2.
Black Vices and the Anks. It has a lot of lightning bolts and chain lightnings
8
and
eller hvad?
På 8, ja.
yeah, and then it has the 4 main deck shatters.
Ja, det er om.
It's just difficult to do stuff with because it destroys so much of my draw engine. He can take some of my early mana and yeah, it just makes so that I have problems. So this is my biggest fear of a deck, you know. So, but of course I shouldn't say that. So, and in the sideboard it has Synredentives and Glooms and Blood Moon and yeah. Oh, it's not a very nice deck. Yesterday, who won? Mike Giuliani, he won. Let's see, do I have his deck somewhere? I guess I could find it. Yeah.
Ancestral.
Yes.
Du kan lave en time warp.
Ja.
Så
Yeah, sorry, I'm not looking so much. Did you meet him 2 times? Yeah, it was only Swiss, so I only met him once.
Hvor mange basic lande har du i din grav?
I'm quite sure that this was the deck, which is apparently quite big picture, so I'll just do like this.
Oh, det er det.
It had 2 main deck Disrupting Scepters, 2 main deck Red Blasts, and counter spells and stuff. It was, yeah, quite a interesting deck, to be honest. And then it had the Energy Fluxes in the sideboard, and it had the Blood Moon in the sideboard and Blood Moon main deck, I think. Yeah, it was up there. So, a strong deck and ready for the long game with me, so I had problems with it, but it went okay. I'm not sad about losing to this deck, and it's also a very beautiful deck.
Discard 2 planes. Oh shit. What is enchant? Yes.
Have you seen the Lobster Com? I think both first and second place, they were, yeah, they had the Juicemgins and Cestrals.
Jeg kan prøve at spille en engel.
Let's see, where do I have that?
Og sit tur.
Hvor kort du på den?
Ja, det må være. Virkelig mange lande. Så skal bare lige starte 2 kort, og det er det. Så det var det.
Ja. Hvad havde du på hånden?
Sørens også. Hvad?
Og du havde en dust to dust, ja okay.
Jeg havde en dust to dust, ja.
Wow.
Jeg havde det der.
Men den giver mig jo ikke rigtig noget,
Nej.
når du aktiverer dem i din egen tur.
Er det en blot?
Nej, det var noget pis. Jeg havde håbet, jeg kunne ride den der sushi lidt længere, men
Ja. Er det en blot du har også?
jeg har et Earthquake, en et Earthquake, og en dust to dust.
Here's the
Jeg vil sige, ja, begge dele er jo sådan...
link for the Lobster Com.
Ja.
Imod brækkerne, hvis ikke du lige aktiverer
I'll
din
just
egen tur.
be really quick. Showing Ben Cat's
Balance er
deck.
sådan set det samme, ikke? Ja,
So
så
it's probably
det,
this one you
sådan
saw.
set, at, jeg sad med et RukhEdge, hvilket jeg rigtig godt kunne have brugt.
A very nice deck.
Men mit røde land...
But if you want, the link that is put in the chat, you can see these decks.
Så jeg tror, jeg var nødt til at spille den på det tidspunkt, ikke?
And then if anybody has questions for them, let's go ask them.
Rimelig meget mana.
Og du havde også de der fabrikker og sådan noget, ikke? Så det føltes som om, at jeg havde...
Then I'll just turn off the music, and then I'm ready.
Ja, det var 6 lande du fik, så det var da ikke, det var ikke dumt.
Hvad var det? Var det en eller to? En fabrik måske?
Ja, der var én fabrik. Der var... Ja, én fabrik. Ja, fordi hvis du ikke havde gjort det, så med den counter der, den, altså, så havde jeg jo kunne spille alt det der også, ikke?
Ja.
Men altså, jeg havde 2 lande, da du lavede Armageddon.
Hi guys.
Hello?
Hej.
So yeah, so unfortunately that was pretty much as expected. Ironically, I bought it out the moats.
Okay.
They would have come in handy in game 2, but you know, the alternative was boarding out the swords, which I actually thought would be better because Henrik doesn't play that many threats.
Yeah.
So I didn't really see a situation where I prefer to have a moat, which is also obviously more difficult to cast.
Yeah.
So that was the decision in the end. I thought It was a bit unlucky in game 2 when I had the turn 1 library that he had the turn 1 strip mine.
Yeah.
I would have liked to be able to ride that for a bit. So,
Yeah, but
yeah.
I think that you had to have kept the mode in, because a lot of your cards I need my disenchant for. As all your threats are disenchant targets.
That's true.
So the more you keep in those, the more hesitant I have to be with my disenchants, because I really need my disenchant for the Blood Moon. You could say that the Fellow Stone helps me because you have so many planes, but I sideboarded in the Blue Blast only to protect myself against Blood Moon, nothing else. So
and that worked well, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was a difficult decision. In any other matchup, I probably would have boarded out the Land's Edge. But I think it's one of my few win conditions, and when you have the 2 abysses, it's very unlikely that my creatures will get me there, and I might need just 6 or 8 damage towards the end. So I prefer to keep that in. The Earthquake doesn't do much, but it's one of the few enablers I have. It can take out a Suchi, and it's one of the few enablers I have for the RukhEdge.
Yeah.
So the spots are actually quite tight, and I would have loved to keep in the modes, but I would have had to take out something else. And I thought that Divine Offering, Dust to Dust, and the Blood Moons were all better in this matchup.
They are.
So that was the reasoning, and I was considering taking out one or more land taxes, but they're just so important for this deck. And they're obviously also disenchant targets.
Yeah.
Then I have a question. When you had the Land's Edge into play and Storm, where you balance with 2 cards in hand, and he discards the 2 lands to go down, why didn't you just discard your 2 cards in response, so that he had to take away the rest of the cards?
The cards I had in hand at that point were a moat.
Okay.
And some other card I couldn't play.
Yeah.
So I felt I had I felt that I had to play the balance in order to, and I would have to do it with 2 or 3 cards in hand just to get rid of the Suchis, because they were killing me quite quickly. And the decision I had to make was, would I want to play the Land's Edge first? I took a gamble that Henrik didn't have any lands in hand, which obviously he did, so it's not a correct gamble to make. I should have just played the balance with 3 cards in hand. That would have been better.
Yeah. But what if you went to 0 cards?
Yeah, but you can only discard lands, right? Can you discard any card?
You can discard any card, and if it's a land, it'll deal 2 damage.
Oh, I didn't know that you could discard any card. I only thought it was lands.
Haha.
Yeah, then
in that case,
your
you're
question
right.
Makes sense.
I definitely should have done it.
Yeah, because I thought that was why you played it, to make sure, okay, I'll go down to 0 cards.
Yeah, you're right. You live, you learn, I guess. Any player may choose and discard a card from his or her hand at any time. If a player discards a land, Land's Edge deals 2 damage to target player of that player's choice. Yeah, so that's exactly right.
Yeah, because then you think, okay, I'm going to get him down some cards. Okay, fair enough. Then I thought, okay. But then when he discards the 2 lands, it doesn't really hit him so hard. Then I thought, okay, then you would be able to respond by, discarding 2 cards also, which would make him go to 0 cards in hand. But of course, if you didn't know that, then,
Yeah.
But in the end, it fortunately wouldn't have made a difference, because Henrik would still have discarded he had in hand, and he drew 1 next turn. So, but it would probably been correct to do. Even though I would have loved to draw another white source and play the moat next turn, if I had the chance.
Yeah. But very good.
Yeah.
I don't have so many more questions.
I actually thought I was in both games. The early Mind Twist, sadly I didn't have a follow-up to that. I didn't really draw anything. And it wasn't really it was sort of a plan B kind of hand, because I didn't have any white mana and no land tax either. So, which is normally not a very good hand for me, but I just thought Swamp, Mox, and a Mind Twist. and then I drew another Mox. I had to give that a shot.
Yeah, I think that it's a strong play, no doubt. So, but I think that sometimes when you have an idea with the deck, you should stick with the idea.
Yeah.
Nothing bad said there, but yeah. But then again, if you had something to follow up with, then it would have been an awesome play, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
And drawing into a white source is actually very likely with this deck.
Yeah, you have many planes and stuff, so yeah, it should be, quite easily done, so to speak. Yeah.
That's magic, I guess.
Yeah. Which means we now have the first Team Tron in the top 4 of the last Doom.
Do you know what the Nils's camp versus Villas, how that's going?
Yeah, Villas won the first round, but they apparently they fall in and out of the game like crazy. So Nils has trouble making his work. Villas has problems making his work. So they're just walking around, and one screen is blank, and then the other screen is blank, and Nils is sitting there with the phone, and it's. I feel sorry for Henning.
So the production value here is amazing, actually. The glare is not even that bad.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem seeing your cards.
Yeah,
that's good.
But I actually think the Lance Edge is one of the cooler decks because it's much more different than a lot of other decks. And I think if a Lance Edge, I'm not an expert on it and I haven't tested it that much, but I think the right combination of cards can actually make a Lance Edge deck very, very potent against a lot of decks because it has so many. For example, the Blood Moon is so strong, and but I think if I were playing your deck, I would probably cut the RukhEdge because I think
just so much fun.
Yeah, I know, but I think that a City in a Bottle would be so much more good in your deck.
Yeah, I don't think it's the best way to build it.
And I also think maybe I think what do they play also, the Winter Orb to slow things down even more.
Yeah. That might have made sense. The Lance Edge it's not really a tax age deck per se. It's more like a mid-range with 4 creatures. And originally I was planning on a white-blue version with the air elementals.
Yeah.
But then I settled on the red. It allows me to put in a fireball, a Lance Edge, an earthquake.
Yeah.
And I haven't really played with the RukhEdge either, so I thought that might be fun.
You could also play the Asura Drake. You know, the one that's 2/4.
Yeah.
The blue one.
Yeah.
And then even play what's it called? The one where creatures don't untap. It's called Meekstone.
Yeah.
Because the Zeros don't need to tap, and those don't
need
to tap.
Oh yeah, that might be good. Yeah.
And if you play the Winter Orb combo, you can also play 1 or 2 Ices.
But it's also been a fun learning experience. Actually, 8 basics is not as much as you think. You run out fairly quickly when you land tax. You end up discarding some of them, especially when you play against a lot of hymns and mind twists. And in the late game, a Felton's Cane would have been really good in this deck, and a Winds of Change as well.
Yeah.
So
I
I would love
right.
to. If I had to build it again, I would try to fit those in.
That
would give me some late game draw power.
Yeah.
But it's been interesting. You come up with against a lot of tricky decisions. Do I play a land? Do I play a card, or do I try to gain life from Ivory Tower?
Yeah.
So it's a very different kind of deck.
Yeah.
Land tax is
I
obviously
think it's very cool.
a card that really defines the deck. But it's been fun. 4 wins in a row. That's not bad.
No. Yeah.
And
the top 8.
Congratulations once again, Henrik.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Deserved.
Thank you. Yeah.
See you guys.
Yeah.
See you. Bye.